Well, hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Let me get my mic over here. It might be better there. How's everyone doing today? Holy crap, that was hot. Yeah, I think my mic is running a little hot here. Let me pull that down some. Ooh, yeah, I'm peaking big time. Super JMN! Hola! Yeah, I am peaking big time. Hold on. Let me bring this down some more. I think I need to bring down my audio gain later. Okay. That should be better. Should be a little better. I think I have my audio gain set up just a little high because I was doing a different type of recording and I was kind of further away from my microphone, so I had to turn the gain up a tad. And I just forgot to turn that back down. Yes, Super JMN. Refactoring WPF app is always interesting. So this is going to be our third iteration. So we started with a code behind not so greatly written application. Only because I like MVVM, I like design patterns. And so over the past couple streams, we have been slowly refactoring this to an MVVM application. And I think we're going to finish this app up today, actually. And it's a good thing because I actually have a meeting, so I don't have as much time to stream today as I normally do. I have a customer meeting I need to hop on, and those are always fun because I'm talking about desktop to web, which is always a fun conversation with me because I'm an opinionated person and I have my opinions. Oh my gosh, I forgot my glass of water. Really? Come on, Brian. This is ridiculous. I mean, I could run, get it, I guess, but it's okay. I'll suck it up. All right, just suck it up. Let's see. You know, there was something I wanted to talk about briefly. Dan, don't you have kids for that? Yeah, they're at school. And my dog... not a very good play at the fetch thing. No, so I'm just going to be parched for this one. There was something I wanted to talk about briefly. I had some news of some kind or a question or something. I'm like, yeah, I need to bring this up on my stream. And I completely spaced what it is. I don't remember. I don't remember at all. That drives me crazy. Ugh. I'm trying to think. Think. It wasn't the water either. It's not because I'm missing my water. That's not what I was. It was something else. I don't know what it is. Oh well. In other news, I've canceled all forms of cable TV. Yeah. Yeah. All I have is like just Netflix, Hulu, right? Disney Plus for my kids. But yeah, I just, I don't watch TV, you know? I just don't have time. I never watch TV. So I figured, why the hell am I paying for it? So I just saving that money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Dan, welcome to the club. Canceled the TV like 5 years ago, but you live on a boat. Can you even get TV on a boat? I could just see you on your boat with like this big ass antenna trying to catch a signal from anywhere. Do you have to like sail around areas of the bay to get the best signal for a certain channel? Oh, you cancel it before you move to a boat. Man, you know what? My audio is still peaking there. I'm going to have to figure that out. Maybe I'll bring it down a little more. That's probably a little better. But yeah, you know, I've never lived on a boat before. I'm sure it's got its perks, right? No one bothers you. I mean, I'm sure that's great. Okay. Since I'm limited on time, I am going to hop into some code now. Right? We got to knock this stuff out, man. So let's kind of look at where we are now. This is the old application. And like if we hop into a code behind, say like, I don't know, marketing. Not too bad code behind. We have, I think sales was pretty bad in code behind. Yeah, this is a real bad code behind one right here. Ugh. That was ugly. Very ugly. So we took this app and we converted it to a code behind app. So let's go ahead and, we converted the code behind app into a MVVM application, right? So let's run this application. So we just see, everyone can see where we're at so far, what type of app this is. This is, oh, Dan, it's peaceful. I have a moat to keep away people who want to convert me to their religion. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I'll keep the Girl Scouts away too. Oh my gosh. Oh, Super JMN. Love the way you name those user controls. I mean, you omit the control suffix that is present in many code bases. Yes, that is... Let me go back here. This is a good way to name your views. It always drives me nuts when you have, like, sales user control. Like, I know it's a user control. I can look at the code. Yep, user control. Right? I don't have to identify the type in the name. Right? It's... Why would you do that? That's almost like saying... It's almost like saying... You have a class. Let's find a class in here. Oh, the dashboard utility class. Like, that's what that's equivalent to. Naming this dashboard utility class. Like, no, you wouldn't do that. That's ridiculous. I know it's a class. I don't need to name that. Great observation, Super. Great observation. Okay, so let's get back to the application here. Oh, hold on. My boss just messaged me. Okay. Oh, he's talking about that meeting I have. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me reply to my boss right quick. Okay. I'm saying, I'm streaming now. Say hello to everyone. Did it say stop screwing around on Twitch? No, actually, I work for an amazing company, and they actually let me do this during work hours. Right? It's not often you find a company that lets you, pursue your passion, to do things you're passionate about, to keep you motivated, and to share with your community. But let alone, I mean, it's just awesome. Infragistics is a great company to work for. He lets me stream twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those only days I get to stream, though. He's like, that's all you got. And of course, work comes first. So if I have a meeting, I got to drop out of my stream and go attend the meeting, of course. But other than that, he's like, go for it, man. Do your thing. So huge thank you to Infragistics, a wonderful company to work for. And we're hiring. So check out our, here, actually. Let me, if you're looking for a job, let's go to infragistics.com, I think it is. There we go. And we have a careers page. If I can find it. I personally never have to go here. Let's scroll to the very bottom. I think there's a careers. Yes. So let's see what jobs we have available. I know I'm going off on a tangent. But if you do apply for any of these jobs, tell them that Brian sent you. Because I get a small little bonus. So, if you're in the New Jersey, New York area, right? Product marketing manager. Detonated. Hey, thanks for joining. We have a lot of developer positions in Sofia, Bulgaria, Uruguay. If you're a designer, hey, Uruguay. And if you're in London, the sales consultant is a more technical job. This is you got to know your stuff to be a solutions consultant. You got to know your technologies. You got to know how to code because that's your primary responsibility. So if you apply for that one, make sure you know your stuff. Then this is just a salesperson. So yeah, looking for a job? Here you go. Yes, Stan, we are. We're actually not far from the Progress offices. You know, big happy family. Steve, would have thought it'd give you a pay raise. Oh, thought it would give you a pay raise. Maybe. Maybe. Might give you. Code Stencil, greetings. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Okay, back to the application. Went off on a tangent there. So this is the application we are converting from a code behind to an MVVM application. This is a WPF app using what's called an embedded data analytics SDK from Reveal. Okay, and so just let me open up my browser again here. For those of you who may be joining for the first time, revealbi.io. This is the data analytics engine that I'm playing with right now. You can download the SDK for free. This is all I did. I just clicked that button, downloaded the SDK, started playing with their samples, and then I went through their documentation here. Using the desktop SDK, right? And I started going through this a little bit. But they have a sample. Super. Oh, well, it's not completely code behind, but it's pretty code behind. Like, for example, if we look at the original sample, this is what they're doing, right? I mean, they're still using data binding, but if you look here, they're using the code behind as the data context. I mean, that's a little confusing. Like, why would, if you're gonna do code behind, just do code behind. Why are you using the code behind of the view as its data context? I mean, just use code behind. You're there, right? So yes, we converted. So this is the old application, and if we look at the new application code behind, it's just some callbacks to access the view, and that's it. So we really fixed this bad boy up. Looking good, looking good. Yeah, ugh, gives me chills just looking at it again. So yeah, so here's the application, and we're using the Reveal. I already closed that. I might have already closed that. Yeah, the Reveal SDK. So I'm embedding these dashboards, which are powered by data. Allows me to interpret, make decisions about data. And we can come in here and look and do things and change things. But what I was concerned about is just getting all of these to work, right? MMRC, or MRC? Is that how you say that? Thanks for the follow. So for example, I can come over here. Oh, I think my face is in the way. Let me minimize this a little bit. Can I do it though? Nope, I got it. Let me just move my head. Oh, how's this? So I can click on this open campaigns. And then I can deep link into another dashboard and just keep deep linking and say, oh, look at this actual spin versus that spin. I don't like the way this is represented. I'd rather see it like this. Or I'd rather see it like that. Or whatever. Yeah, so, you know what, Super? I should have played that song, Lean Back. Lean Back. God. I'm old. Okay. So we have most of this working. Actually, I think we have all this working. All of it working. The thing that I wanted to do today was I wanted to revisit our ViewModels and then refactor even more. Schland! Thanks for the follow, my friend. I know that's how everyone says your name when they see it. So I wanted to visit all these ViewModels we created and then refactor even more because we started doing a lot of the same things in these ViewModels. For example, let's look at like this ViewModel, right? We have a dashboard ID, we're creating a dashboard, and we're creating some settings. Now, if you're new to this specific application, this is campaigns. If we go into the campaigns view, that settings property is being data bound to our Reveal view. Okay, this is what's actually displaying all those dashboards. Okay. So what we did was we moved that settings property into this ViewModel base class. So now this ViewModel base class has a data source provider, and it has a settings property, right? So we want to look at what else we can bring or refactor into our base. And one thing I noticed is we were doing this a lot. So for example, let's go to like marketing. Once again, creating the dashboard, setting the settings. We have a dashboard ID. Okay. Sales view model, dashboard ID, right? Creating dashboard, creating the settings. Okay, so we have some code that we are duplicating that I think we can bring into the base class here. So let's start by looking at this. And we're in our ViewModel base. First off, I think I'm going to move this initialize, right? Yes, you've seen an async void method, and that's perfectly okay with me. Because we have to call this in a constructor, and I'm not awaiting it. I don't care when it finishes. I'm not trying to await its completion. I don't care. And I'm not concerned about error handling at this point. Yep, fire and forget. Don't care. Okay. So we can move this initialize into the base constructor. Correct, Dan. It's just following an event pattern. So instead of like going into the code behind of the view, like actually let me show you in the old sample. Let's pick one. How about marketing? See, instead of doing hooking into the loaded event of a view and doing an async void on the event handler, which you have to do that on event handlers, we just moved it to our view model instead. Okay. So I'm going to add an initialize here. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. I don't know if I'm even going to make it protected yet. Let's just do this for now. Just for now. We'll start constricted, right? And then we'll open it up if we have to. Okay, so one thing we are definitely doing, in every one of these we have a dashboard ID. It's required. So that tells me a couple things, and maybe I need your input on this. We could add a property for dashboard ID, right? We could do something like this. Whoops. Prop P, string, dashboard ID, right? Whoops. We could do this. And actually, it doesn't even need to be that. It could just be a normal, like this. We can do that. Yeah, protected. Okay, and then we'd have to make sure that we set it in our constructor. Dashboard ID equals, marketing. That's one approach, right? And then we can get rid of that. That's one way to do it. Another way we could do it is if we're saying that dashboard ID is required for this view model to function, we could do this. Right? So dashboard ID is a requirement into the constructor. That way, when we do this, like this isn't going to work, we'll have to pass in well, hold on. We could do that. Let's see. We could do that. We could pass this down. Hold on. Work with me here. And maybe turning the ID as an abstract member. Hold that thought. right? Hold that thought. So we could do this, right? But what that would also require us to do is then to go into our code behinds here and change. Wait, are we manufacturing or marketing? Or marketing, where we're setting the view model, right? We'd have to then pass in the ID. I'm not sure I like that either. The fake Brian Lagunas finally showed up, huh? Nice of you to show your face again after being called out for not being the real Brian Lagunas. Thanks for joining the real Brian Lagunas. Thanks a lot. Always good to see you. So, yes, name, or, yeah, it could be that. Name of, and then throw in marketing, right? So, we could do that. However, I'm not a fan of that either. Right? I actually like Super's suggestion of making it abstract. And the reason is I like to use dependency injection, and I don't really want to pass in a string or try to register parameter types with different views to resolve these. So I'm kind of feeling like, okay, I don't want to do this, right? Don't want to do that, because if I move to dependency injection, it just makes my life a little bit harder. So let me fix this. So let's not do this approach. I'm kind of digging the abstract approach. So we could make this an abstract clap. Yeah. Actually, this will need to be public. Why am I making everything public? It's fine. It's fine. We'll mess with that later. Okay. Let's see. Now, what should I do here? Should it be a method? I mean, I don't think I've ever done an abstract abstract property before. Can you do an abstract property? I don't know if you can. Maybe you can. I don't think I've ever done one. Let's try it. And then we definitely don't need a setter on here. Maybe you can't do one. Oh, let's see. Oh, super. Protected abstract string dashboard ID. Oh, yeah. But it's not really working. Oh, because I'm retarded. That's why abstract. There we go. We can make this protected, I'm sure. Okay, ViewModel base. Why is this? Is it because this is public? Is that why that's doing that? Elements defined in a namespace cannot be explicitly declared as private. Sorry. Oh, it's like I've never coded before, right? Alrighty, so now let's kind of go into here, see what we get. Implement abstract class. And here we could do this. Bam! And we can eliminate that. Okay, that works for me. Okay, what are we doing here? I knew it. Yeah. I didn't think I could do that. We'll just stick it like, oh, that's fine. Okay, so that works for us. So before I go fixing everything, we look at this initialize. For example, here. I'm going to copy this. Paste it into there. Right? So now we have our dashboard ID. We're creating settings. And we're doing that everywhere. Everywhere we do that. We do have some special use cases. Like here I'm doing some special things. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So let's start Okay, now that that's in there, let's fix marketing. We don't need any of that, actually. That means technically we probably don't even need this CTOR. I don't think we need it. Because I didn't have anything in there, really, that I was using. This, we'll just do that. Oh, this is going to be so much better. Oh. Right. That means I can get rid of all that. Oh, man, this one's even more beautiful. Might as well clean up that. Oh, that view model is amazing. Okay. Detonated. Do you always need a dashboard ID? Yes. What? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't think so, actually. The empty dashboard does not have a dashboard. See this? Does not have a dashboard. Oh! But we could do this. Not a problem. Well, I'm not thinking of doing a virtual. So detonated say you could do it with a virtual and implement only when needed. However, for the most part, it is required. It's required. You got to have it. There's only one case. And so I think I would rather handle that case here. Right? So what if I did this? This is a RV dashboard. If wait, what is it? String dot is null or empty or white space, or I think I'll use the or white space one. What do I call that? Oh, dashboard ID. So if it's not null, then we'll create the dashboard. Because if you look at the empty dashboard example, the way you just pass in a null to the settings. And since this has to be null, yeah, that's going to work just fine. Yeah, it's going to work fine. Because I'm saying in my initialize here that if we don't provide a dashboard ID, then don't even create it. And we'll pass in null, which should keep the existing functionality. That should work. Okay. I'm going to move this up. Move that up. Let's see, what else can we... Okay, so we can do this one, which we did here. Null. That means we can get rid of this. All right. Get rid of that. I think we fixed that one. Sales. Okay, sales is... Okay, I'm going to come back to sales because that definitely looks like... Okay, so sales. Did we get manufacturing? No, we did not get manufacturing. Okay, let's grab this. Right, well, I'll copy this. Detonated. Thanks for considering anyway. Your solution is more appropriate. Anytime. I like to experiment with different approaches and then try to find one that works, I feel, the best for the situation at hand. And so it looks like we're doing right here some special... we need a handle settings. Right. So we got a handle settings here. And we have to handle settings in this one right here. So that's different. What else do we have? I think we did marketing. Cells. Okay. Okay. So how do we want to handle this scenario where we're creating our settings? How about a configure settings? Oh, I can't spell. Configure, like a configure settings method, and we pass in and we could go protected virtual, right? So, oh, whoops. Hey. Didn't mean to do that. Something like that. So if we did that, then so we're not going to use this anymore. Override configure settings. And then hum. Oh, wait a minute. Bam. Okay. I think that will work. Although I don't... Okay. I don't like this being in the configure settings method. Let's come back to this. We'll rethink that. We'll come back to that. I'm not sure I like that. Let's see. Okay, we don't need it there. We're back at sales. Okay, so here, we're going to have the same kind of problem. Override, configure settings. Right. And then we get rid of this. And we have an await in here, which, yeah. Don't like this. Okay. Let's see, even though we have a property exposed, that's mainly for data binding. Right, so actually my view model base here, the settings should probably be a private set. Because nothing else should be setting that settings. Only that view model base class should be responsible for that. Okay, I'm going to run this or build it and see if I've missed something. Yep, missed something. Okay, right here. Sales. Here we go. Missed that. Where did I put it? Right here. I'll throw it up the top. And this is going to be sales. Okay. And then I got rid of the constructor. Okay, let's do another build. Okay, so let's run the app, and it should still function. Everything's looking good. Looking good. Yep, I think everything's working. Okay, that's fine. And let me do my little lean back. Yep. Okay, so we didn't break anything. It still functions. Perfect. Good news. Okay. So now we have to rethink this. This right here. Okay. Everything else is handled. It's just these two view models. These two view models have additional code that has to be invoked separate from the actual settings. This one has nothing to do with settings. Okay. This one, we have to have the settings. Okay. But we can access that through the... What if we... What should we do here? I mean, what we could do... We could do something like this, right? I mean, we could do something like that. So the reason we have a settings property is for the data binding. Because on every view that we use, we're data binding this view settings property to the underlying settings object. But normally in an API, when I develop an API and I want you to manipulate something, I like to pass that to the method, like configure settings. Most people might have just left this empty, right? And so when you're in configure settings here, you wouldn't have this and you would just use the property, but you would have to know that property existed, right? I don't necessarily like that. That's why I like to pass in what's being manipulated. However, in this case, I think it's going to have to be one of those you're just going to have to know, right? So, on initialized, take that out of there. And then we need to change this to the property. Oh. Get rid of that. I mean, that works. Totally works. I'm just not sure. What I'm thinking here is, you know, we have this property called settings, but I could also pass in the settings just like I did here on initialize and pass in the settings, because this is the main object, but it's exposed as a property. I don't know. But then again, not every implementation. Well, no, it looks like it. I'll need the settings in this one too, actually. But I can use the property. I don't know. What does everyone think? Is this okay? Or would you rather pass in the reveal settings like this? I'm not sure. I mean, we have it as an exposed property. This is only to support data binding. I guess that's fine. I guess it's fine. I guess this is fine. This is fine. So, yeah. I think we have this. Actually, let me... There we go. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. Got rid of a whole bunch of boilerplate code, that's for sure. Okay, nice. Yeah, as you can see, the sales view model is definitely the most complex one for sure. because we have to like adjust dates, get them in the right format. And so the approach we took, let's revisit the sales implementation, because this one actually bothers me the most. And the reason is because I still require this code behind. Super. So you're not passing the settings to the uninitialized. Okay, you can add that if you need it. Yeah, that's my thought. I mean, if we go back to the uninitialized, both uninitialized does require the settings to be used, but I can also access those settings via the property. So yeah, I'll just leave it this way and we'll add it later. Okay, so let's go back to the sales. This is something I'm not extremely happy with, but I haven't thought of a better way yet. Okay, and essentially what has to happen is there are two methods that we have to call on the reveal view control. So if we open up the sales dashboard, on this control, we have to call two methods: set filter selected values and set date filter. So the way I did this is in my view model, I exposed a couple of actions. I can find them right here. I exposed an action, set date filter, and an action, set filter selected values. Right, so whenever I needed to call these, for example, right here, like, yep, need to update the date filter. I manipulate my dates to get them in the correct format, create my filter object, then I call that action. And then the code behind where I have my view model, I set that action equal to the controls set date filter method. So what happens is whenever I click my command, which is, I think it's, which one is it? One of these. Something happens. Oh wait, no, on this one, when the date changes, I call the date changed method, right? That in turns updates the date filter, because we have to take this, the to date and the from date, adjust those dates, and then we update the date filter. So this method calls the controls method here using this action. I'm wondering if there's a way that we can get rid of that altogether. So let's run the app so you can see this in action. If I could think of a better way to do this, I'm all for it. So this is the to date right here that I'm changing. You see that? And then the from date right here. And so what happens is when this date changes, let's step through it. Let's do the date 2. Whenever the date, well, we're going to go to date change because that's what's going to get called. Okay. Date 2. The date changes. We raise our properties. The update filter is going to be invoked after that timer, right? Because I just want a slight delay. That's all. We got our from date, our to date. We adjust it to get it in the right format. We create our range. We create a filter. And then we have to call that method on the control. So, oh, Dan, got to get back to recording. Take it easy, brother. Thanks for joining. Knock out those Prism tutorial videos. Because I don't got time, man. Shoot. Somebody's got to do it. Okay. Because what happened... Well, I mean, this isn't a bad approach. I mean, it's not bad, right? It works. It's a little code behind, no problem. Be pragmatic is what I always say. Be pragmatic. But I have time. I got time to kill. So can I think of a better way to do this? Okay. Because if I move to... Well, I could still fix it. Because let's say that I'm using dependency injection, or I'm using Prism with the ViewModel locator, and I don't have any code back here. I would basically have to get the data context. SSL ViewModel. Yeah, I'd have to add an event handler, like, or data context change. Like, I'm just trying to think of all the stuff I'd have to do. Could we... Thinking here. Could we create behaviors? Let's look at our ViewModel again. In this case, I'm dealing with a filter. So if what if I created a behavior that I would data bind the filter property to, and so when that data binding updates, then we would call the set date filter that way. Right? Would we do a behavior, or would we do an attached property? What do you guys think? Help me out here. I need help. I need help. Let's I mean, I already have an attached property for changing the selected visualization ID, right? That's how I'm calling this method. So I can test this same approach with the date filter. Let's try it. Let's try it. I think it's prop A for attached property. Type. Ooh, what is the type? This RV date dashboard filter. Okay. Date filter. Man, I need to change this. I don't like the order in which they put that stuff. Owner class. What'd I name this class? Real view properties. And default will be null. But I am going to have... Yeah, let's see how this goes. On date filter changed. What? Is that right? No. That doesn't look right. Why doesn't that look right to me? Oh, because I put it in the wrong spot. Here, let's do this so I can see. I'm like, why doesn't that look right? There. Okay, so I'll just copy some of this code. I'll grab that. That's the same. Let's grab, what are we doing here? We need the filter. Okay. So we'll say var filter equals e.newValue, but we're going to want to cast that to the proper type. Right? So we have our filter. Now I can call reveal view dot set date filter and pass in my filter. I'm curious if this is null, if I should return or not. Let's test it. If I get an exception, then I'll know. I'm not quite sure how that works. Okay, so we have that. What did I do on the other one? Is it manufacturing? I called it API. That's what I called it. Okay. Oh, it's not gonna... Really? Binding filter, or date filter. Well, I need to add that to our... Hey, where's my... You gonna make me hand type that for real? So annoying. And this is gonna be reveal SDK samples right there. Okay. Let's do a build. Build succeeded. Okay, so that fixes that. So now let's go into our code behind. Let's comment this out to our view model. Comment that out. Let's add another property, and this is getting kind of crazy. We'll just add it here. Prop P. Oh my gosh, what was this? It was an RV. Okay, got it. Okay. Ooh, let's do this. Bam. Okay, so that's commented out. That's commented out. Let's run it and see if we broke it. Oh, looks like it still works. Yes. Beautiful. Let me hit a breakpoint. Okay, so we have our real view. We have our new value. And we call... Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. What happened? Okay, what's the value when it first starts, though? Let me start here. Oh, nothing. Because I set it to null at first, so there is no value. Change. Perfect. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so that's fixed. You know what? Let's do this. I want to... I haven't done this in a while. Surround with region. There. I'm only doing that so I can collapse it. There we go. Just to kind of get it out of the way. The heck? Maybe I don't need that. Interesting. Is that a bug? See that Y? I see it. Let's find out if it's a bug. And you might be asking, why am I putting a comment at the bottom of the region as well? Well, the reason I do that is if you have a lot of regions, it might get a little confusing. So it's always good to know which region this end region it belongs to. Right? That's why I do that. Okay. Super. Good approach, by the way. Thank you. It works, right? It works. So can we take the same approach for set filter selected? I don't even like that name. And there's... Where is it? Oh, Sorry. This name here, yeah. Sets the selected values for the given filter. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Set the filter's selected values. But when I read that, I almost want to say set selected filter values. It's kind of what makes more sense to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Set. Man, I wish I had that water now. Set filter selected values. Set selected filter values. Think about it. Let me know. Because I might have forgotten to mention, but I am taking tons of notes on this API and things that we run into. And so if I don't like something, I'll write it down, and then I'm going to send this feedback to the team, and we'll talk about it. Yeah, it's not good to have many regions anyway. True. It's not. But for the purpose of the stream, I want to be able to collapse it so everyone can see the code. Okay. So once again, let's go back. This is a list of object. Okay, so list of object. Let's go back here. Let's try the same approach. This should work. Let's try it. Prop A, attach property to list of object. And this is selected filter values. See, that's just what I go to. Got to set our owner here. Let's get this down here. On, whoops, but on, what is it? Selected filter values changed. Yes. We'll just grab this code right here. What the heck? Copy paste. I've never gotten in trouble using copy and paste. Never. Okay, we know that's going to be wrong. That's going to be this. Set. Whoops, not JSet. See, this takes... Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute here. What is this? Let me look at the code. Let me look at the code. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. I mean, technically, yes, this will work. What the? I copied that. I'm wondering if you see my problem, though. Yes, technically, this works. However, this is very problematic indeed. Oh, come on. This is the problem. If I wanted to reuse this, right, I would need a way to pass this in. But as of now, I don't, because I'm just... Because this is what it would look like. API, reveal properties, selected filter values. And then I would have a binding to like filter values, right? Whatever. Let me build to get rid of that. The problem here is I need to know off which filter. What the heck? Okay, I'm definitely getting some weird errors here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I fixed this one, so I'm gonna get rid of set date filter. This one works. I'm happy with that. But this one is still a problem because I need more information. More information. So get rid of that. How are we going to do this, people? I mean, I could do a behavior in this case. What the heck is going on here? Let me close and reopen that. What the? Why am I getting this? What if I take this one out? Because we didn't have that before. And it worked. Huh. I broke something. Selected filter values. What did I do wrong? I broke something. Here, let me comment this out. I broke something. I don't know what I did, but I broke something. Okay, reveal view properties to an exception. Default value does not match type of selected filter value. What? Oh my gosh, that's why. Ugh. Come on, Brian, use your brain, man. Okay. There we go, that fixed it. Okay, so that still works. One more problem to solve, and we can call this one good. I am actually a little stumped on this one. What is the best way to do this? I mean, one way is, you know, have something like API, or actually, behaviors, interaction, yeah, I think it's behaviors, right? Yep. And then have a behavior in here that's like API, my behavior, filter value, or filter, right? Territory. And then selected values. And then do the binding, right? Something like that. I mean, that would work. We would get both of what we needed, right? We would get the filter that we're targeting, and we would be able to bind our selected filter values. And then we can get rid of all code behind. Because we wouldn't need this anymore. Let's try that, shall we? Add a new class. Reveal view behaviors. Now it's been a while since I've created a custom behavior. I think it's just, is it behavior? Then we override attached, right? Is that right? What is it behavior of T? Behavior of T. Sorry. Behavior of T. That's what it was. Okay. And then we have the unattached. And then... Okay, actually, I gotta rename this. Set filter... set filter selected values. Right? Rename file. Okay. So now we need a dependency property string for the filter name. Owner class set filter. Yeah, okay. And we'll set this to a null. Right. Like those at the top. Okay. Now we need, I think it was a list of objects, a property, property P. It was a list of object, right? And this is selected, filter value. Wait, is that how I'm gonna name this? I don't know what to name this. Should I follow the convention that's on the control? No, I'm doing my own thing. Doing my own thing. Thank you very much. Okay. So far, so good, right? So far, so good. Then let's actually go to our view. And let's fix this up a little bit. Bam. Oh, actually, I called it selected values. Okay, let's do that. Let's name it selected values. I'm good with that. Go Soldier, hello, hello. Thank you for joining. We are creating a custom behavior to get rid of some code behind methods. All right, let me rebuild this. Okay, I broke something. Oh, right here, selected values. Oh no, that's right. Selected values property. Selected values property. Got it. Selected filter values. Selected. Oh, right there. That's the problem. Okay, succeeded. Perfect. So let me get rid of that unattached because we're not doing anything there. But what we do need on selected values. Oh, whoa. That was close. That was really close. Wrong one. Pay attention, Brian. Pay attention. On selected values changed. All right. So we'll get var reveal view equals dependency. Yeah, I know what this is. I'm gonna hard cast this. Okay. Now, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Here. This is the code I need right here. Let's copy that. Get filter by title. Filter name. What the? Oh my gosh, really? You gonna do this to me? Okay. No problem. We'll fix this. Real view. Real. I always do that. Oh no, detonated. You got a phone call and you're doing something I want an explanation in. Well, this might take me a while. Do your phone call. Come right back. Come right back. Okay, let's see. This is going to be a list of object, new values, list of object, old values. Now you're probably asking yourself, Brian, what the heck are you doing, man? You are confusing me. Actually, I don't need the old values. You're confusing me, bro. I don't know what you're doing, man. Well, what I'm doing is, if you noticed, the callback to this this dependency property is static, right? That means that I do not have access to this filter name property. Now, I could technically call, you know, get value, filter name property, pass in the... I could do that, but I don't want to do that. Instead, I'll call values. Actually, I'll do this. New values equals list of object. Whoops. e.newValue. And then I'm going to call on selected values changed. What is it? Sorry, no, is it wait, is this the behavior? Oh, I forgot what this is going to be. I think this is the real view. Hold on. Before I'm gonna comment this out, I gotta run this right quick. Because what I'm gonna do is I want to call the. Wait a minute, I might have confused myself. I used to writing custom controls, and this is actually not part of a control. Okay, back up, Brian. Pause yourself. Pause. Whoops. Prop P. Nope. List of object. Super JMN, thanks for the follow, my friend. Glad to have you part of the team. Where am I calling this? Okay. Let me run this right quick, because in the case of a behavior, this is not a custom control. I'm used to writing custom controls. But in the case of behavior, I think I'm not going to be getting what I think I'm getting. Bam. Okay. So what's the dependency object? Yes, I knew it. Okay, so that's the behavior. Got it. Okay. Okay. That's what I need to do. Yep. Behavior. Well, if I can spell. Okay, got that. And if you wanted to be like super safe, like this is just to be safe. If you wanted to do this, you could do it like this. Do an as. And go, if your behavior not equal null. Then you're going to call behavior dot on selected values changed. See that? And then I'm not going to pass in the real view here because I forgot I don't have access to that here. But I will pass in the new values. All right, so I'll say var new values equals list of object e dot new value. Right? So I'm just showing you what I'm doing here. So I'm grabbing the behavior that this is attached to. Okay, because we're in this static method, right? And I don't want to be dealing with static methods and static like get value, set value, things like that. So I defined the method on the behavior instance. Okay. Yes, I could do that too. Go soldier, good point. Good point. I'm so used to writing code a certain way. Let's change this to the new way. The new way of writing if statements and casting and all that great stuff. We could do this. If D is blank behavior. Whoops. Still can't spell that word. That is the new way. Thank you, Go Soldier. Great point. I'm just so used to writing code a certain way that even though these new syntactical sugars came out, I just don't even think to use them, right? I have to retrain my brain. Okay. So what we're dealing with here, an attached property, this callback on selected values changed is a static method. Okay. And because it's static, that means I don't have access to the instance properties of this behavior, such as the associated object, which is what I need. So I'm going to cast this behavior, and then I'm going to call this instance method that I created, passing in the new values. And actually, I could probably make this even easier just by doing this. Get rid of that. I think it's like, was it Shift Delete? Yeah, Shift Delete. Whoa! Don't want to do that. Okay, now I'm getting the new values coming in, right? Used by me. Yes, this test for null. So basically what's going to happen, this is going to check if this is an instance of this, meaning it's not null, and it's an instance of this type. And when it checks for that, it's, oh yeah, not only are you not null, but you are an instance of this type. I'm going to name you behavior, and now I can use this variable name within that if bracket. This is the new syntactical sugar. That replaces the old var b equals d as, whatever object, right? And then if, b not equal null, right? That replaces this type of code here. This is the old way. This is the new way. Alrighty. So now that I'm in the onSelected values changed instance method, I have access var real view. Actually, I don't need to do that. I could say associated object, because this is the real view. Set filter selected values. I'm going to copy this off of here. I'm going to call that method. That's not longer view. That's the associated object. Now I can grab the filter name property that's been set, right? And I can call a method off that. Super JMN. Associated object. That's the real deal with behaviors. Yes, this is the real deal. This associated object type is the T of behavior of T, right? So I'm going to move this up, up here. Okay. Now, this should work. I know this is a little confusing. So first we have a filter name. This is going to be the name of the filter we're going to be manipulating. Right? So we set that here as territory. Then we're binding to our selected filter values. Now, when that happens, this onSelected values will change. We have the static method, which does us no good. So we're going to grab the behavior itself and call an instance method, right? That's what I defined down here. And I'll pass in the new value that I need. You can also pass in the old value if you want, but I only needed the new value, okay? Once I get inside this instance method, I can now access the behavior instance objects and methods and properties and values and all that great stuff. So the associated object is the T of the behavior, which is the real view. And I could say basically real view, reveal view dot set filter selected values, grab the get filter by ID or by title, passing in the filter name as the title, and then the new values that we passed in. Got it? Awesome. Now it's time to test. Let's go to our code behind. I'm going to comment that out. I'm going to be so excited if this works. That's already commented out. We have already defined our selected filter values, right? That is a property up here, which implements iNotify property change, so notifications will be invoked. Let's run the application. Let's see if it works. Okay, so we know that the range works. Range works perfectly. Now we need to test the filters here. America. APAC. EMEA, India, Japan. Yep, looks like it works. Who is... So, Donald Bishop is in Japan. I can see that. Okay. Cool. It works, people. It works. Ah! Nice. So that means I can get rid of this. Right? I can get rid of this action. I might want to come clean this up just a little bit. Just a tad. Not a big deal, though. Let's go to our code behind and get rid of this. All right. Now, the only reason I have code behind now, the only reason is because I want to check the Git is in design mode. That's the only reason. System.component model. Dependency object. Yeah. I don't want this in my view model. Now, the reason I do this is because if I don't do this, let's do a build. I'm going to show you what happens. Let's open up our main window. We have a broken designer. Actually, maybe I should open up the sales design. Well, it doesn't look broken, but trust me, it's broken. And the reason it's broken is because there is code inside the Reveal SDK that is running, looking for various databases and things like that that we configured. Okay, so for example, I'll run this application again. If we create a dashboard, I create a new visualization. This Northwind customer, so you see that? That's hitting a web service. Northwind orders hitting a web service. So when that code actually runs, even though we're just in design mode, it still tries to invoke those service calls, which we do not want, which breaks our views. So that's why, for now, I'm doing this, because this is not a Prism app, and I'm not using the view model locator. Antrim777, just curious, is it possible to refresh particular parts of the screen, not the whole screen, so you avoid the flicker you have now? Yeah. So not in this specific implementation. Let me show you. But there are, like, I think, like this specific example here has its own filter, right? But it controls all of these. It's, in this case, only these changed. Do you see that? So this filter only applied to these components. These stayed the same. So depending on the filter that you're applying to what, only that widget will update. Okay? It just so happens that this specific dashboard, every widget or every visualization depends on the date ranges selected. Okay? But like in marketing, I mean, this one only, all time, only apply to these three here, where this is the same, this stays the same, this stays the same. All right, so yeah, you could totally do just one at a time. I don't know if you know this, but you can actually expand these, change the visualization if you don't like what they look like. It's like, oh, I want to see it look like this instead. Right? Edit it. What do I want? What values do you want? What labels do you want? Right? Off your, this is off the marketing spreadsheet. Change the default. Do you want a pie chart? Whoops. Discard. But yeah, I mean, this this data analytics, it's called Reveal. It's pretty freaking awesome. Like, it's super easy to use. Granted, there are some improvements I want to make to the API to make this a little more MVVM friendly. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty slick. I can see a lot of CEOs and CIOs and CTOs and this and Cheerios, all those O's. They would love this stuff. You can embed it directly into their applications, their native applications, give them the opportunity to create their own. Oh yeah, I want to look at the orders, right? And I don't know what this is, sir, this one. And then for values, I want the total and offset. Like, I don't know what's in this table. It looks like nothing. What about customers? Customers might be better. Let's preview. Sure, let's create this. Okay. Separator once a day. Select data. This is kind of cool. What else can I do? Phone number? Yeah, I mean, this is kind of cool. Right, you give these suits the ability to create their own dashboards based on data in their enterprise. And they can share them out, right? So, like, I got this dashboard I want to share. I can save as. I can export it locally, right? Oh, this is export to image. Copy to clipboard. Export image. Save as, which isn't implemented. You would have to implement the save as yourself, right? Depending on where you want to put it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. What's that? Jor 1? Jor? I'm totally butchering that. I really apologize. That's why I never give people, you know, crap for mispronouncing my name. My last name, Lagunas. I got all kinds of crazy stuff in high school. My nickname was LA Guns. I'm not even from LA. Like, sure, whatever makes it easy for you, I guess, right? But yeah, I think we're good now. Let's double check. We're done here. We're done with this, but let me clean those up. We're done with this. Let's check all these code behinds. Just make sure. Whoops, that's not a code behind. Make sure all we're doing is setting is design mode. And in a real production application, like all my apps are Prism apps, so this would not be an issue in a Prism app because it uses dependency injection, uses the ViewModel locator to use dependency injection to dynamically create this at runtime, so you wouldn't get those designer errors, and this would not exist at all in your code behind. But this is just a plain Jane MVVM app. Detonated, by the way, it would mean lag at home in Bulgarian, which just seems funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, lag at home. Lagunas. Lag at home. I've forgotten most of my Bulgarian, actually. I haven't been in a couple years. I still have Dobra Vecha, though. I got that one. Dobra Vecha. That's all I got. It's important, though. Right? Antrim 777. Oh my god, I need a rest. I misread the channel name like Brian Laguna. Exactly. See? It is what it is. Detonated. You should come over this year. I might. I don't know. You know, I am traveling a lot this year. I'm doing a reveal tour, which is essentially so far over like 14 cities in the U.S. Traveling around, talking about dashboard analytics. Because what's really cool about this reveal engine that I'm just going over the sample right now and converting a sample to MVVM. But what's cool about the actual analytics engine, it's a lot more powerful than what we're seeing in the sample. You can use you can hook up a machine learning model, right, to do predictive analytics on your data sets and have that rendered on screen to you. Like, it's crazy. You can do, what is it? What's that graphing? There's a graphing language out there. Scripting language. What is it? Is it R? Graph? I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. I'm new to this stuff. But yeah, you can write your own little graph scripts and we'll render them in that language, which is pretty freaking cool. I'll tell you what, Detonated, if I do come, I will let everyone know and we will get together and have a lunch or a dinner or a breakfast or whatever it is, right? I will say, everyone listening, if you've never been to Bulgaria, you need to go. It's actually a pretty cool place. And the food is amazing. I'm a picky eater. I really am. But I didn't have a single meal that I didn't like over there. It's crazy. And they got it all. Just, yeah, Detonated. I think it's R. I think it's R. But I will say, don't try to have American food in Bulgaria. That's not very good. But everything else is delicious, right? Everything else is delicious. And it's inexpensive. It really is very inexpensive. I think I averaged like $5 US a meal when I was there last time. So, highly recommend you go check it out if you've never been to Bulgaria. Great place. Love it. And I will go again. Though, I will say, if you go, you have to go to a Chalga club. So much fun. So much fun. Right? Albert, thanks for the follow. So, Chalga, it's interesting, right? So, I have a story. When I was in Bulgaria one time, I went to a Chalga club with some friends, right? Hey, man, we're dancing. We're getting our groove on, right? And then all of a sudden, there's these guys, like, pay this guy with a drum. There's this guy with a drum walking around, right? And he's like banging around with the music. And so these guys have all these jewelries on. They kind of look like mobsters. They may be mobsters. You never know, right? But they got big watches and stuff. And they'll pay this guy to come play the drum next to them. And then what happens is all these girls will come and dance around the drum, right? Like all of them, all in the club. They just come around this drummer, right? And they just start dancing to the drum. And it's hilarious because the drum isn't even really going to the beat of the music, right? He's just playing something. He's just playing something, right? And the music is playing something else, but it doesn't matter because everyone's dancing around that drum. The guys who paid the drummer just having a great time, having all these people around them like they're the center of attention, right? And then the drummer goes away to somebody else, and it's awesome. Like, it's so much fun. Oh, and another story. Okay, this was my first experience here too. So I went to a different chocolate club. I forgot which one it was. There's so many of them. And then when you go in, you'll notice that you'll see, I walked in and there were tons of like napkins all over the floor. Like, just tons of napkins everywhere. And I didn't understand what was going on at first, but I observed what was happening was you could pay, right, the bar or whatever, to bring out napkins. And these napkins are not just any napkins. They have like money printed on them, okay? And so what happens is you buy a pack of napkins, they bring it to your table, and then you throw the napkins in the air like this, and it's kind of like making it rain, right? You see the rappers and they're throwing money everywhere, but they have napkins that are printed like money. They're like just throwing napkins everywhere. So you walk into these clubs and there's napkins just littered all over the floor. I mean, it is awesome. Like, it is an experience. It's so much fun. And actually, I can't wait to go. I've built it back up. Like, I gotta go again. Like, I'm just reminiscing on all the good times I had in Bulgaria. Definitely have to go. I'm going, dang it. I'm going. I have a team there I haven't seen in a couple years, and I need to go see them, hang out, do some team bonding. You know, I gotta bond with my team again. But anyways, that's enough of my stories. I actually have to go early today. I do have a meeting I need to hop into in about 3 minutes. So I want to thank everyone for joining me today. If you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter. I'll get to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, I will see you on Tuesday. Same time, same place, right? 10 a.m. Mountain, right here on this channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you again next time. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.